What's up, everybody, man? This is yours truly. This is Chris, man, here with That Square Sports. I hope all is well. Hope all has been well. Here I am this week with Week Two's NFL predictions. Week One, I did not predict anything. All I did was tell you what was going to happen throughout the season, what I thought the records were, what I think they were going to do, stuff like that of that nature. Because Week One, I just like to sit down and actually just watch the games, right? So, of course, we got Thursday night's matchup. Giants and Washington football team. Like I said, I predicted Washington to actually be the second in the NFC East. The Giants offense didn't look too bad. I think Daniel Jones just drops the ball too much. He's just a fumbler, and that's just who he is at this point in his career. I'm looking at it. Barkley might not play as much, and Evan Ingram is also out. So how I'm looking at it is, but also at the same time, Washington's got, Fitzpatrick out, which is not really, to me, a huge deal. I think that Heineke's the better play. If you're going with the over-under, I'm going to tell you right now, points-wise, maybe at best 40 points, 50 points. 50 points is the best. 40 points is probably what it's going to be. So I'm looking at that. I think Washington wins because of the defense. They obviously get a whole bunch of fumbles. So if you're playing fantasy football and you got Washington's defense tonight, you're going to do some numbers. Next up is Steelers-Raiders. I told people that the Raiders are the surprise team in the AFC West. I think they're going to finish second behind the Chiefs. And everyone was shocked about the Ravens game on Monday. I let people know about that. I told you, man, there's a whole season review on the Raiders. I think that the Steelers will hold their own in this game. I did have the Raiders winning this game at first, but the Steelers they have a little bit of mojo. But if the Steelers can run the ball against the Raiders, that would be perfect. However, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to try to put the ball in, Big Ben's hand. Well, Slim Ben now. Slim Ben's hands. But I'm going to be real with you and honest with you. Quiet as it's kept, the reality is, man, I think that the Raiders probably win this game at Pittsburgh. Next up, Eagles-Niners. It's not really much to talk about. I think the Niners are going to win this game by a landslide, but it's going to be a bit difficult because Jalen Hurts ran all over Atlanta, so he's got that confidence going into the next game against his team. But having, that D-line, especially with Bosa there, and then, of course, the Niners, they're going to come with it defensively. Offensively, it's going to be fun to watch because I think both teams – well, the Eagles don't really have a high-powered offense, even though Smith looked really good, the rookie. But I think now he's playing against some real competition. Not saying that Atlanta's a bad team, but just they're playing against some real competition. And I think that now it's going to be where you have to look at the big picture and be like, okay, well, all right, maybe it's going to be something here that they can do. So I think this is a measuring stick game for the Eagles. But if they do come out with a win, that would be nice. But I think the Niners win this game. Next up, my Texans versus the Browns. As I projected, the Texans was going to beat the Jaguars, and as I projected, the Browns are going to punch the Chiefs in the mouth, but hey, the Chiefs are going to punch back. I do have the Browns actually winning at least 10-plus games this year, so this is probably going to be one of those games where they do win against the Texans. I would love to see my Texans win, but the reality is, man, we just don't. We have to stop Nick Chubb, and we allowed. And I know a lot of the games, the yardage that came at the end of the game for the Jaguars, it was garbage time. But James Robinson ain't no Nick Chubb. And it's Nick Chubb and Kareem. So whichever one's having a bad day, you give it to the other person so they get it right. And then if not, Baker can throw the ball, with Landry, Higgins, so on and so forth. So they've got their little weapons across the field. And I think the sleeper for that roster is, Hooper and Njoku, both two tight ends that are really good. And can spread the floor. Split the floor. This is not basketball. Flip the field on you any given second. So having that. Looking at this, the over/under in this game, I'm gonna give you points on this one. I think the Texans actually put up 21. I think the Browns put up 28. Clowney is a rematch game for him against the Texans. I think he's gonna have a good time. So is Myles Garrett. So this is gonna be something fun to watch. Unless the Texans get in and control the clock, that's the only way that we can win the game. But I'm going to be honest with you. The Browns, this is a measuring stick for the Texans. So the Browns come out with a win. The over-under to me, like I said, was it 20, about 40, 49 points, 49, 50 points, somewhere around there. That's what I think. Broncos, Jags. I think the Broncos murder the Jags in Jacksonville. Teddy Bridgewater goes for at least maybe 3 touchdowns. Von Miller gets 2 sacks. If Bradley Chubb is going to play, he's probably not. But if he's not going to play, it doesn't matter. Von's going to get his, maybe 1 pick. going to be a good defense. If you're going fantasy, this is another good defense to get. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. Broncos beat the Jags. It's not really much to talk about in this one. But Trevor Lawrence did decent. I don't think he's a good football. I don't think he's was worth the number 1 overall pick. I don't think that's what the Jaguars needed. But, hey, that's what they took. That's what they have. Leave it at that. Next up, Saints and Panthers. Ooh, this is fun, right? This is going to be one of those games where it's two new faces for the franchise, right? And I had the Panthers winning. Actually, I had them going 9-8 this season. I have the Saints actually going 10 behind, you know, the Buccaneers. What I saw with the Jets for the Carolina Panthers was a good warm-up game. I mean, it was a rookie quarterback. It was a freebie game, right? But don't be surprised if Sam Darnold, you know, and James Winston put up the most points. I think this is going to be the high-scoring game of the week. Just for the simple fact that, you know, the Panthers, they went against Corey Davis, and Corey Davis, to me, is not an elite receiver, but he can hold his own. I mean, he's not up there yet with the Hopkins and the Michael Thomases and so on and so forth, but the guy can hold his own, and that's what he did, right? So to me, I look at it like this. If we're looking at the big picture here and we're seeing how it plays, the Saints is just a more well-run organization than the Panthers. However, the Panthers have Christian McCaffrey, you know, and now they got a quarterback, you know, and Bridgewater could do it, but Darnold's just a younger quarterback, and he's getting his reads up and getting his confidence up. I'll give it to the Saints. Point spread, I'm looking at maybe 35-27, somewhere around those lines. Colts, Rams. I got the Rams winning this one. I do have the Colts coming out of the AFC South this year. They just looked really bad against the Seahawks in week 1. It wasn't really pretty, but then again at the same time too. The Rams, they played the Bears, a good warm-up game until Justin Fields came in. That says a lot right there, Chicago. Anyways, Aaron Donald is going to probably control the line, especially with, you know, Quentin Nelson out for the Colts. It's going to be a problem, man. And they're going to just have to go shotgun. And when you're going shotgun, you know they're going to be rushing. They're not going to be listening to you. The edge rush is going to have fun. The bull rush is coming. It's all coming, man. So right now, just looking at the big picture of everything on the Rams and the Colts game, Jalen Ramsey is going to press upon Michael Pittman Jr., who it's just going to be a bad game for the Colts. However, unless they make their linebackers come up, and I think that's the key for the Colts to win this game with Jonathan Taylor and Nakeem Hines. And if Marlon Mack decides to see the field, like I said, they got so many weapons on the Colts offense, it's not even funny. It's just the front wall has been broken, you know, due to training camp and things of that nature. So we'll look at that and play the factor in, but the Rams are going to win this game. Bills and Dolphins. Oh, yeah. Come on, Buffalo. Buffalo's going to bounce back. They're going to smack the Dolphins, I think. It's going to be a blowout. It's not going to be really close. I think that the Patriots just, last week, they just, you know, they had Mac Jones. I think he's going to find a rhythm, especially in who he plays. And that's actually the next thing I'm going to talk about. But Tua's going to do decent. I say he's going to probably put up a touchdown. You know, Jalen Waddle is over there now, his friend from Alabama. But Tre'Davious White, Hyde, these guys, man, they got embarrassed, and Doug Dermott is going to talk to those guys and let them know, hey, this is not how the Bills Mafia gets down. So with that being said, got Buffalo winning this one, more so along the lines of 20, 28, maybe at best 13, 28-13, somewhere around those lines. Patriots, Jets. Bill Belichick hates the Jets. I think this is going to be a short talk. I think that the Patriots get massacre the Jets. I'm looking at 28, no, maybe 31-14, somewhere around those lines. I really don't have much for the Jets. They're just rebuilding. Man. It is what it is on that. Patriots win this game. Next up, Bengals, Bears. Joe Burrow and the boys, especially with the comment that he made about Chase, I thought he was dropping everything. That boy looked good, man. So, and the Bears really don't have a strong secondary anymore, to me. It's just more of their front seven. Really, Khalil Mack is their guy. So I think that when you look at everything and you break it down for the Bears, Justin Field is the sign of hope, and they've got to play him. Especially in Chicago, they got to play him because they're booing Andy Dalton as soon as he steps on the field. whether he scores or not, they're gonna boo him. They're gonna boo Andy Dalton. So put in Justin Fields, just see what he does at this point. I mean, like I said in my preview video for the Bears, Justin Fields probably won't start until like week 9. Then that's just Matt Nagy for you. Like he's gonna play his guys till he can't play them no more. But if he starts, maybe third quarter, it might become a game. But the Bengals have already done so much damage that it's not even funny to look at. So we're gonna roll with the Bengals on this one, just because I believe Burrow's gonna go 2-0. I still don't think they have a good line. I think that the Vikings got a lot of pressure. I think the Bears can put up a lot of points against this defense of the Bengals. But Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, Higgins, I think they're gonna hold their own, and they're gonna probably do Tyler Boyd. Shoot, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be decent against these guys. So Bengals win against the Bears. Falcons, Bucks. I feel sorry for Atlanta, man, because the Bucks, they're probably gonna beat the Falcons badly. If you got Calvin Ridley, just don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. But then again, always too, sometimes Matt Ryan plays the Bucks pretty tough. I mean, it is a divisional game. It is what it is, man. I don't think that the Falcons have a chance against the Bucks. So Bucks win this game. Not really much to talk about. Brady goes out there, throws 2 touchdowns. It is what it is, right? Next up, Vikings and the Cardinals. Now this is the game that I'm actually like looking at. The next 4 games. Yeah. So these 4 games coming up is the games that I really want to watch, right? And they all start at 4:05, right when I have to go to work on Sunday. Anyways, Cardinals. Vikings have Jefferson, Thielen, Cook. They have the offense. They don't have the defense like Mike Zimmer used to have, right? So now it's funny because the Cardinals have both. And a lot of folks pay Chandler Jones. Like, at the end of the day, just pay Chandler Jones. Like, you got to pay him. You got to pay Chandler Jones, bro. Because if you don't, then I'm at this point in my life, I look at it like it's a hustle, because you got Chandler Jones just out there just ripping folks up at 5 sacks per game. And I'm like, dude, you got to pay this man. You got to pay this man. I'm going to go ahead and give the nod to the Cardinals on this one, just because of the offense. Kyler Murray, they're going to just do their thing. But this is another high-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be as high as the Saints and Panthers game, but it will be a high-scoring game, because it could turn into a blowout, too, and they just run the ball and get it over with. You know what I mean? Titans, Seahawks. Titans bounce back after being embarrassed by the Cardinals. Derrick Henry runs all over the Seahawks. They can't stop the run. Jamal Adams can't be everywhere. He can't guard, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones at the same time. I don't know why you would try. So I just look at it like that. I think this is going to be a decent scoring game. I'm looking at maybe 21-20, 21-24, somewhere around that line. Next up, Titans win that game, by the way. Next up is the Cowboys-Chargers. This is another game that's going to be fun to watch too as well, especially later on into the day, going into the night. I think the next 2 games, like I said, these 4 games, the Vikings, Cardinals, Titans, Seahawks, Cowboys, Chargers, and the next one I'm going to tell you about, I think this is going to be fun to watch, seeing these 2 fairly young quarterbacks go at it, Herbert and Prescott. I think Prescott's going to hold his own. I think the Cowboys are just a more completed team than the Chargers. And they're playing in Los Angeles, which really doesn't matter because Cowboy fans travel. They're always around, right? So we're looking at that. But I think the key factor player for the Cowboys is, not just their defense, but CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard. Those 2 guys are going to be pretty efficient against the Chargers, especially without them not having Melvin Ingram. And we saw that, that presence. And people think that Washington, if they just would have started Heineke in the beginning, they would have won. But Washington started, holding their own against the Chargers. And that's what I was telling people about the Chargers in the season preview. They don't have that defense no more. They got rid of Melvin. That edge is gone. I mean, Joey Bosa's nice, but having Melvin Ingram, like TJ Watt said for the Steelers, it's nice to have Melvin Ingram on the other side. It makes it easy for me. So, it is what it is, but I see the Cowboys beating the Chargers. Next up is the Chiefs and Ravens. I think the Chiefs blow out the Ravens just because the Ravens are decimated, especially after that devastating loss against the Raiders last week. It just was tough, man. It was tough to watch that go down for Lamar. That fumble. I think Lamar's gonna have a great game. It's so much the Chiefs have to offer you on offense. It's not even funny. I think it's gonna be a decent, high-scoring game. I'm looking at past the 25 mark for both teams. But, the this is how I look at it. I think that the Chiefs are going to come out and win this game. Next up is the Lions and the Packers. I don't know. Usually in my recent years, I would say that the Packers would win this game. But for some strange reason, I feel like the Lions might have a chance. I don't know. It's a different set of Lions. I mean, to do what they did against San Fran with the comeback, it's a different Lions. Can I say tie? Can I say tie? No, I don't want to say tie. I think but then again, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is sabotaging the season, and I should do a video on that. I will do a video on that. I will do a video on that. I'm going to say the Packers because of the history, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions pull it off. I would not be surprised. Anyways, with that being said, those are my week 3 picks. Week 2 picks for the NFL. I will be coming out with a college video here shortly, later on today. With that all being said, man, good luck, safe bets. I hope you guys enjoy these games coming up. Please drop a like, drop a comment if you feel when you're in the video chat, and we out. Peace.